Joe Biden is still charging ahead with his dopey electric vehicle push that most Americans aren't buying. His administration is getting ready to finalize regulations that target gas-powered vehicles and would accelerate the clean vehicle transition by forcing automakers to more rapidly expand electric options in their fleets. But so far, forcing car companies to sell EVs has been a bloodbath for their bottom lines. The CEO of Hertz is resigning after the company's big bet on EVs went bust. America's Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, is in denial and thinks green energy is the way to go.
Most companies who are doing the investments in clean energy are not making these choices out of charity or because they're nice to have. They're doing it because their bottom lines demand it, goosed, by the way, by incredible tax credits.
Gavin Newsom is also having a tough time selling his EV revolution. A new study claims that California is unlikely to meet landmark goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions unless it nearly triples its rate of reduction through 2030. Okay, Dana.
Yes.
All right. Now, what Elizabeth Granholm just said, the energy secretary, she's saying they can't wait to get into it, businesses, because their bottom line benefits from it. Am I stupid, or did I miss the point?
No, Jennifer Granholm drives me up a wall, and this should drive everyone up a wall. Remember the black couple that we saw who said that they were likely to vote for Trump and they want to start a family? Like, one of the things they're frustrated by is that the American Infrastructure Act, whatever it was called, it goosed inflation. At the same time, it had all this big Green New Deal stuff in it. Do you know that the electric vehicles were about 8% last year? The guy from Hertz had to resign.
Right.
And she's saying they want to do it for their bottom lines? No, you told them that they had to. This deal that they're going to do tomorrow is that they want roughly 2/3 of car and truck sales in 2032, not that far away, to be electric vehicles. And it doesn't work. And all of the federal taxpayer subsidies in the world are not going to change the fact that three basic things. One, we don't have the materials. We know that the materials have to come from adversarial places like China. And also, if they can come from here, we make it so difficult to get it out of the ground. It makes it very difficult. President Biden, when he drove that electric Ford 150, Bloomberg sourced the materials for it. And they found that it all went back to the Amazon, and that the battery factory that produced it had poisoned an entire village in the Amazon. So how do you like that, awfuls? Let's talk about it. The emissions from actually building EVs and their batteries are terrible. We know that. And the market, when it's allowed to work, works. I would just ask the Democrats, please stop trying to help us with your Green New Deal. Like, we'll get there when the technology is available.
You know, Jesse, you like to think that Biden is pushing this. As Dana said, one of the regulations is coming out tomorrow. You like to think he's pushing it, yeah, because the election's coming up. But this guy is serious about this. But the EVs aren't catching on. As Dana said, they're too expensive. They're too difficult to charge. I mean, charging, power infrastructure, nobody wants them.
I like to ride slow and low. I don't want to be all peppy with the weird-shaped vehicles. No one likes these things. It's a boutique car, and the market penetration's been this big. You can't scale up green the way Jessica wants. It's just not there. Lithium as an energy source is just not dense enough. They need another energy source, and there's not enough minerals in the world to make it work. Meanwhile, we got an electric grid that is suffering from this huge jump in demand because everyone's plugging in cars. They have these big data centers. Everyone's doing the air conditioning. We have all this chip manufacturing going on. Pick one. You can either just kill the rainforest and the whales, or we can all live comfortably.
You know, the truth is, Jessica, that people don't want this, but there's more. There's something that gets in my craw, and that is that China, is benefiting from this. China is going to be making these EV cars in Mexico, and that's what the whole bloodbath thing was about. But it really is true that, you know, the automakers aren't going to benefit from this. China's making the vehicles through their own supply chain. They have a mineral supply chain that we don't have access to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want, if I was the Biden administration, to lose the support of these CEOs. And that's what is happening with this. If they're not being allowed to have a mixed offering so that you have your gas guzzlers next year, EVs next year, hybrids, and they're seeing a lot of success with hybrids, which makes sense if you think about what a big transition it is to go from, oh, I'm driving a truck to, oh, I'm driving a Tesla. If you get an in-between, you can feel better about your emissions. You can get the tax credit, or a lower one than you would get if you went full EV. And you could keep these CEOs happy and in business. But when you have companies of this size, like Ford, GM, Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, and Aston Martin's in there too, which is obviously a smaller luxury company, telling you the same thing, you have to heed that warning. And it's not admitting defeat to just say, we tried to do what we think is a good thing too fast. We're pushing back our goals to 2040, let's say.
Yeah. Okay.
And people will go with it.
But he's not going to do that, Greg, is he?
No.
'Cause
And
he's
Jessica,
awful.
I always feel better after my emissions. By the way,
I actually was going to say, I was like, this is not an indoor emission, Greg. It's an outdoor.
Jesse, I disagree with you. Alternative energy is dense. And we should be calling them electric guzzlers. If we're going to call cars gas
I like
guzzlers, let's
that.
call these. But you know what? This is another 5 prediction that played out. You can't force a tech on a public when both the tech and the public aren't ready. The replacement theory here went bust, Jessica.
Wasn't
As an
great
alternative, and I will defend EVs, as an alternative, they're great. The innovations are to be applauded. I like a lot of stuff that Musk is doing, but an alternative is not actually a replacement. When Nirvana exploded onto the music scene, we didn't immediately ban Creedence Clearwater or Lynyrd Skynyrd. No, you had alternative rock and you had classic rock. Right. The mistake was in the hubris of thinking that alternatives could replace the classic. The other big issue here is data. The climate people are constantly setting and resetting the climate doomsday clock, and that's exhausted our good faith. The credibility bank has gone bust. No one believes, by the way, no one in their hearts believes you can effectively measure the planet. If you just think about it for a moment, think about it. Can you effectively measure the planet? If you ask anyone, they will tell you they can't accurately do that. But forcing the public to adopt practices that hamper their lives based on bad stats, that you can measure.
At the Gutfeld Institute.
At the Gutfeld Institute.
Yes.
Nonprofit, so send all your money
Yes,
to me.
a 501c3.
Yeah.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.